reasonably equivalent value, that it's really not defined. It does not necessarily mean fair market value. Deferred or installment payments do not change the value analysis so long as the present value of the deferred payments is reasonably equivalent to the value of the assets transferred. Now what happens is that in some instances the assets are transferred in exchange for a long-term note or even a zero coupon note or bond, a zero coupon bond. And the creditor then is stuck with the situation of having to, even if they are able to attach the note, it doesn't have the same value as if it were cash. But there are a lot of cases, most of the cases in this area do not say that it's necessarily a less than full fair market value when you get back a long-term note. One of the things that people do sometimes is make up a private annuity. They transfer their assets in exchange for an annuity. There used to be some income tax benefits to that. There aren't any more, but there still are some estate tax benefits. And it still may be a good thing to do in the case of a asset protection risk management plan. And what happens is that you transfer the asset to a trust or an LLC that's owned by a trust in exchange for an annuity payment. And sometimes you can make that delayed so doesn't kick in for 5 or 10 years. And therefore the creditor is faced with the prospect of the only thing they can get, they could try to attach the annuity payments, but they're not going to be paid for 5 or 10 years. And then even when they are paid, it's only a portion of what the value that was transferred. You can also have a sale of the assets and take back an installment note. And you can even do a sale to an intentionally defective grantor trust that's irrevocable. So that might also be a way of trying to protect from creditors. You have to remember though that, well, let me show you I want to make a point in just a minute or two. So these are the planning techniques: traditional sales, installment sales, private annuities, and factoring arrangements. And that's what you were talking about with respect to collecting the advance, even accounts receivable that could be assigned. And you can have another company that would do the billing and collect the financial, even for a physician. You just have to be careful with privacy issues and with the requirements that the state has, the state medical, and the Medicaid and Medi-Cal, and Medicare, I mean, and the different requirements that they have with respect to who the medical provider is. And we have in our midst here the guy who's really probably represents more physicians than all the rest of us in this room together, with Ken Vanaway over here. So if you have issues in that regard, you know where to go for questions. I represent a lot of physicians too, but Ken does a lot of that work, and I'm grateful for his input, and I've learned a lot from him, and I'm glad he's a close friend.